Good morning, televiewers, and welcome to this edition of the news here at the DBS television, this 25th day of September 2017. My name is Mahngeh Vernasius Fola. The new divisional officer for Douala 5 subdivision has been called to work hard so as to justify the confidence bestowed on him by the head of state. This was during the installation ceremony presided at by the senior divisional officer for Vuri division, Mahngeh Joseph Bertrand. We have details in the following reports. The arrival of the senior divisional officer for Vuri division, Mahngeh Joseph Bertrand, marked the beginning of the ceremony to install the new divisional officer for Douala 5 subdivision, Bakoma Zacchaeus Elango. This was followed by due respect accorded to the national colors. With a heavily attended population, the mayor for Douala 5 municipality, Gustav Ebanda, welcomed his guest and rendered homage to the outgoing divisional officer as a virtuous man who has always been on the field to fight, among other things, urban disorder and insecurity within the subdivision. He has actually been a divisional officer who was available when needed. He indicated to the incoming officer the characteristic features of the subdivision he would hence lead as being a cosmopolitan one. The senior divisional officer on his part interpreted the welcome given him and his delegation as a mark of respect for the hierarchy.
I would like to thank you all for the warm, fraternal and enthusiastic welcome shown to me as well as to the delegation accompanying me. This welcome is a signal of the hospitality of the population of this subdivision and at the same time translates the interest they ever have for the command service.
To this population, he reminded them that they have the duty to build a peaceful Cameroon desired by everyone.
I want to invite all our population that living together is a goal for all of us. Living together is a challenge for all of us. This country is ours and we have the same responsibility to bring and to build our nation, to build the state of law that we want.
He warned the elite not to be detractors of the incoming divisional officer.
And you, the elites and population of Douala 5, your divisional officer just arriving has no prejudices and as such has no biased mind for or against whosoever. He has only one preoccupation in his mind: to work.
He promised his support to the new divisional officer whenever need will arise.
As far as I'm concerned, Mr. Divisional Officer, you will always receive from my services and myself at any moment the necessary support whenever you succeed effectively in your mission in the subdivision with numerous potential.
After reading the decree appointing the new divisional officer, the SDO presented the incoming divisional officer and asked him to assume duty. As the ruling divisional officer, he inspected a guard of honor mounted by forces of law and order. Gifts were presented to the outgoing divisional officer who moves to Douala 1 subdivision in the same capacity. Over in the northwest region, the new divisional officer for Bamenda 2 subdivision has been commissioned into office. He comes in as the fourth since the creation of that subdivision. We have details with our student journalist Cynthia Kwemo.
The population of Bamenda 2 subdivision, September 21, welcomed the installation of a new divisional officer in the person of Mr. Tanyi Ako Rosignol, who roots from the southwest region of Cameroon as a replacement of Mr. Etue Peter Mbongo. The ceremony was presided over by the senior divisional officer of Mezam Division, Mr. Songa Pierre, at the premises of the Bamenda 2 Council. In the course of this ceremony, the importance and respect of the people's rights was strongly emphasized upon by the mayor of Bamenda 2, Mr. Balik Awa Fidelis.
So the people here know what democracy is. They love and they apply it. They will neither accept nor compromise with anything that touches on their rights, freedom, culture, or tradition.
The installation, followed by scenes of celebrations by cultural groups, also witnessed the expression of the people's worries and expectations in relation to problems of road network, land issues, plus laws and order.
I'm expecting him to solve our land matters especially and bring us peace so our children can go back to school. I'm expecting him to use the laws in place, the documents he will be presented, and truthfulness to solve the problems we are having in the subdivision.
Everywhere there are land problems, he should settle the land problems transparently. He should take no sides with any village, nor anybody.
While the population bid the outgoing DO farewell, it is obvious that Mr. Tanyi Ako would have much to deal with, especially with the region's present situation, reason why he is being wished much of luck.
Over in Yaoundé, laureates of the national competition of young authors have been awarded their prizes. The event that took place September 21st in Yaoundé was presided at by the Minister of Arts and Culture, Professor Vernasius Kombi. Our Yaoundé-based correspondent, Vernasius, has details.
This is how the second edition of the National Writing Competition for Young Authors went down at the Cameroon Cultural Center in Yaoundé this Thursday evening. Through this prize award ceremony to the winners of this year's competition, championed by Arts and Culture Minister Professor Vernasius Kombi, 20 young Anglophone and Francophone authors in the literature world whose works have never been published before received cash prizes ranging from 65 to 500,000 francs plus material motivations worth some 80,000 francs. This was to recognize their outstanding literature endeavors in the poetry and prose genre. Present to encourage these laureates during the ceremony were several government ministers and state dignitaries, all lovers of literature. The laureates who savored their trophies were very right to do so because it was a tense competition that had over 300 beautifully conceived works of arts placed on the table of the jury who had very tough times scrutinizing them. In his speech, Professor Vernasius Kombi encouraged the young authors who range between 19 and 35 years to continue to reveal the rich literature potential of Cameroon, a country known in the domain as a powerhouse in the continent. To prove his willingness to accompany them, the Arts and Culture Minister announced the publishing in few days of 2 anthologies which shall contain the beautiful artwork of these laureates plus those of 9 runners-up in this competition. This so that the public will come to discover their talents and pay due homage to them. Under this year's theme, Cultural Heritage and Development of Cameroon, this competition was organized with the aim of favoring the discovery of literature talents in youths by placing them in a fair challenge so that their intellectual capacities and creative potentials can be brought to the limelight.
Here in Douala, the second caravan to sensitize very small and small enterprises to join approved management centers have been launched. Professor Vernasius Etuningwa, launching the campaign, highlighted some of the advantages and government support that awaits those who will register. Williams Amon.
Je déclare ouverte la deuxième édition du caravane de sensibilisation sur les centres de gestion à créer dans la ville de Douala.
These words of Minister Vernasius Etuningwa at the Aqua Reception Hall in Douala opened the second edition of the caravans to sensitize very small enterprises to join approved management centers with French acronym CGA. This will enable actors of the informal sector in the Littoral region to benefit from tax advantages, trainings to overcome business challenges for productivity, as well as benefits from government support in diverse ways.
There they will receive advices, they will receive the know-how, how to run their enterprises, very small enterprises, and they will benefit from financial input from the Ministry of Finance. So they have to go and make their inscription in this unit so that they can take advantage of a certain code put in place for them. When they don't know it, they are the very first to complain that the physical inputs of the state on them is very, very heavy.
To very small enterprise, professional organizations and associations, project initiators, and the informal sector in the region, the approved management centers should stay.
Le CGA Sinedebok principalement est présent presque dans l'ensemble du territoire national.
We of the Regional House of Approved Management Center, Sinabebok, feel very satisfied. We know the opportunities offered and so enjoined start-up businesses and other public-private initiators to join.
Ça chasse énormément les vampires d'impôts.
We have desired approved management centers for long. It is going to be safe as from what I can term illegal tax collectors, vampires who finish and kill the informal sector. I do call all very small enterprises to obey and be in accord with the platform.
After Yaoundé and Douala for the first and second editions respectively,
we will follow in the 3 coming weeks in Bafoussam in the western region, and thereafter we will go through other regions of the country.
Since the effective start of the activities of the first 3 approved management centers in 2010, the number of member enterprises has been very low. Companies, persons, social economic actors and other informal sector actors amongst other legal entities with an annual turnover that is less than or equal to 100 million CFA francs are eligible to join the approved management centers. Only then can they taste or benefit from government's diverse supports to very small and small enterprises.
Student journalist Raimatusi tells us that the construction work at the Lom-Panga hydroelectric dam has been completed. A team headed by the Senior Divisional Officer for Lom and Jerem Division made an inspection tour around the project and expressed their satisfaction for work done so far. Her report.
The gigantic project of the head of state, which laid the foundation stone in July 2013, built in the eastern region of Cameroon by the Chinese company CWC, is finally complete. It has a length of 1 kilometer, 300 meters, and a height of 55 meters. This is built to ensure the functioning of all the dams existing downstream Lom-Panga, since the Senegal River already plays its role of regulating the level of water. This dam reservoir of Lom-Panga was visited by the Cameroonian authority on 30 June, and the laying of the first stone for the supply of electricity took place on 16 July 2017. As part of his tour, the Senior Divisional Officer of Lom and Jarem, Yves Bertrand Alino Awafak, expressed his gratitude and satisfaction with the quality of work.
We came here within the framework of our contractor to visit this gigantic project, the Lom-Panga hydroelectric dam, which is a reality. It has been constructed, and it is something great, and the population of this area is very grateful to the head of state for this important project. But most importantly, the population is expecting the completion of the second phase of this project, which will now permit the dam to produce 30 megawatts of electricity, and this will definitely solve the shortage of electricity problem that we have in the Lom and Jerem division, and why not in the entire East region.
Henri Daniel, the representative of EDC, explained that the construction of the dam for the supply of electricity to the population of the eastern region is complete. However, it has brought development to this community. In a nutshell, the construction of the Lom-Panga Reservoir Dam has developed fishing activities, making the economic of the population of this part of the country to improve.
We come back to this failed attempt last week to set ablaze the fueled petroleum tankers of the SADP here in Douala. The governor of the littoral region has reacted, saying it is an alert for powers that be to tighten up security. Prince Miduke Falan comes back to that story again.
The population of Mbopi Market here in Douala were in fear Friday, September 22, after an explosion occurred very close to the walls of the oil distribution company SADP. A gas bottle mixed with different substances has been placed by some unknown men all in attempt to set the company ablaze. Fortunately and unfortunately, the scheme was not effective after the gas explosion failed to reach the tankers but rather created fear and panic. The governor of the littoral region and some top administrators alongside security elements have been at the site. He says this act is an alert for authorities to implement security.
The explosion this morning in the wall of SCDP here around the market and the railway station. And we came to see what happens. So this explosion is a criminal one. They wanted to put fire in those tankers behind us, but they didn't succeed. But I'm saying that they are helping us to be more aware so that all the other ones that are preparing to do it, we take all of them. There's no way to bring trouble in Douala.
Some Denisians who had happened to be around the scene of event have appealed to authorities to step up security measures not only in this area, especially this period. It should be noted this explosion is third in Douala, fourth in the country at the time of this report, after that of Bamenda Thursday, September 21, that left 3 police officers seriously wounded who are presently receiving treatment at the hospital in Yaoundé.
That was the beat we put together, ladies and gentlemen, for this edition of the news. The news comes up in the French language in less than an hour. Keep watching program here at the DBS television. Have a blessed day.